Hi, here we have a top with a hip that is too tight. Okay, as you can see, the hip area is too tight. It causes some horizontal pull wrinkles at the front area. The solution is to unpick and release the side seam. So the solution is to unpick and release the side seam until the wrinkles disappear. So I'm going to unpick until the waist area that's marked in red. And it allows some ease for the wearer. So after we have unpicked the side seam until the wrinkles disappear, first we'll measure from the side seam of the dress form to the side seam of the top. Next, we measure from the side seam of the dress form to the side seam of the back. So there's two options you could do. We can adjust the patterns of the front side seam and the back side seam. So to do so, we'll need to measure the estimated amounts from the side seam for the front and for the back. The second option is to only add the additional amounts at the back or the front. So meaning to say, if it's a total of 5 centimeters, we'll add the additional 5 centimeters from the back or from the front. After we've got these measurements, later on I'll explain to you how we can adjust on our flat patterns. So after we have gauged the amounts to release on the dress form, we will release a certain amount at the hip area here. Apply the same amount to release for the back as well. And we redraw the side seam towards the hip area. Towards the hip. Okay, so we have just added on both the front and the back side seam. Alternatively, you could add the same amount that you have released for the back over to the front, meaning double for the front, and redraw the side seam and joining to the hem here. So by doing so, you do not need to do any adjustment for the back. So this is how you adjust the pattern for the top when the hip is too tight.